The US-Israeli alliance is continuously bombing Iran, while Iran is consistently targeting American bases in Gulf countries as well as Israel. Of course, according to estimates from various defense institutions, in the fourth week of the war, Iran is launching 10 to 30 missiles and 70 to 90 drones daily towards its targets. The Strait of Hormuz is completely under Iran's control, and most ships passing through here are paying 200,000 US dollars to the Iranians, to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard to pass through this Strait of Hormuz. This amount is being termed globally as a maritime toll tax. Now, Iranian lawmakers are also saying that the money collected from ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz is being given a legal framework. However, ships from China, Russia, India, Iraq, and Pakistan are being allowed to pass through, and allegedly, ships from these countries are passing without any payment. That's quite interesting. For negotiations for the ceasefire with Iran have apparently hit a snag, and the American president Donald Trump has said that in the event of the failure of negotiations, the intensity of attacks on Iran will increase. As the Iran war continues to prolong, America has begun work on tracking the number of missiles and drones in Iran, their manufacturing, and the sources of supply for necessary parts. So, once again, the names of Russia and China are being mentioned. That these two countries are, in one way or the other, still providing defense equipment to Iran today. So, in this regard, China's name is at the top. Of course, there should be no doubt about it. It's buying oil from both Iran and Russia, which provides support to the economies of these two countries. So, along with this, China is also providing Iran with advanced dual use technology, meaning technology that is ostensibly civilian but can be used for warfare purposes. If we look at Iran's drone program, the electronic parts, semiconductors, navigation modules, and batteries used in it are often manufactured in Western countries. But these do not go directly to Iran. Of course, understand, it's very understandable. So they first reach China, are then transferred to Iran through various companies and networks. So China has provided Iran with drones, anti-ship cruise missiles, surface-to-air systems, and of course their components as well. So the same technology is enabling Iran to target American interests in the Gulf and of course the Israeli targets as well. So in the field of navigation as well, China's role is instrumental. According to Western intelligence agencies, it gave Iran access to its Beidou satellite system, through which Iran is it's increasing the accuracy of its missile and drone attacks. Through the same system, Iran also generates fake signals to deceive enemy surveillance. So, if we examine chemical materials, a new situation emerges. The chemical components Iran requires to make missile warheads and explosive materials are also reaching Iran through various routes via China, of course. These components are not transferred directly but through different countries, front companies, and of course transit centers, so that their true destination remains hidden from the eyes of these Western intelligence agencies. So, even according to some reports, secret Iranian ships are bringing materials from China that are used in making rocket fuel. So, compared to China, Russia's role relates mostly to military experience and technology improvement. So, after the war in Ukraine, the expertise Russia gained in drone technology is being shared with Iran. So, an exchange of drone technology has taken place between Iran and Russia, and both countries have increased their production with each other's help. In February 2023, Russia established a drone factory with Iran's help, where the production of Shahed drones began. So, Iran provided Russia with hundreds of drones, their parts, and of course trading as well. Later, Russia further improved those same drones and began providing them back to Iran. So a circle has been formed at the defense of level at the defense level between these two countries, where technology goes from one country to another, improves there, and then comes back to Iran. So similarly, Russia is providing Iran with satellite imagery and combat experience, through which Iran is improving its targeting. So Britain has specifically accused Russia of providing Iran with intelligence regarding Israeli and American targets. Additionally, according to European intelligence agencies, some military equipment, including drones, will be provided to Iran by Russia in the coming few days. So now the question is, how is this entire system working? Because Iran has been under sanctions for the last 45 years. Russia is also under the hit of sanctions. So, how does all this reach Iran? This is actually a network through which China, Russia, and Iran evade Western sanctions. So, its methodology consists of several levels. First, these countries trade outside the financial system. That is the banking system I'm talking about. When transactions happen outside the dollar or Western banking system, the impact of sanctions automatically decreases. So, supply chains, for example, the arrangement for providing specific items are managed such that a single item is manufactured in different countries. So, one part is made in America, another one in Europe, a third one in Japan, then all these parts reach China and come to Iran from there. So, in this way, the identity of the factory producing the parts remains hidden. Nor do the manufacturers know that their goods are going to Iran. So, for the transaction and transport of these goods, front companies are usually used. So, these companies, what they do, they appear to be ordinary commercial entities, but in reality, they become the means for transferring sensitive technology. So, to get necessary items to Iran through these companies, they are sometimes passed through several countries so that it becomes difficult to track them. This system, running layer upon layer, keeps working despite sanctions. So this help from China and Russia is not merely based on friendship or ideological closeness, but on pure interest. For China, this is an economic and strategic opportunity. It's obtaining cheap oil, selling its technology, and simultaneously forming a global system that can stand as an alternative to the West. So for Russia, this war has brought a double benefit. On the one hand, the increase in oil prices is beneficial for its economy. On the other, thanks to its support of Iran, it can put pressure on its neighbors in Europe who are currently supporting America in this war against Iran. So for Iran, this cooperation is a means of survival. If these supply chains were not there, its defense industry could have been severely affected due to sanctions. So this is the reason why Iran is not only standing in this war, but is also continuously putting up real resistance. So Iran is showing its performance in the field of war, and along with that, it's also fighting in the secret networks of supply. Because of this, the most important issue for America and its allies now in these Iranian networks, which without breaking is making it increasingly difficult for them to achieve any success in the war. So, although American President Donald Trump has stated regarding China and Russia that both countries are not providing any major help to Iran, this is true to the extent that Iran is getting nothing from these two countries openly except diplomatic support, right? However, beneath the surface, a system is working that has been prepared with years of hard work. So, in this system, the role of China and Russia is central. This role is not open, of course. It cannot be open. It cannot remain open, but is now emerging in a silent, continuous, and effective manner. Both these countries are playing a fundamental role in keeping Iran's military capability alive, even without entering the field directly. So, if we look at the history before the current war, this cooperation is nothing new. The series of Western sanctions on Iran started after the 1979 resolution. After that, Iran tried to make its defense industry self sufficient, but it faced a severe shortage of technology, parts, and modern research. So, this was the stage where China first came close to Iran. So, in the 1990s, China provided Iran with missile technology, anti ship missiles, and various defense systems. Chinese and North Korean technology was included in the foundation of Iran's initial ballistic missile program. During this time, Russia, which was facing new economic difficulties after the collapse of the Soviet Union, became an important defense partner for Iran. So Russia provided Iran with air defense systems, training for fighter jets, and cooperation in the field of nuclear technology. So the construction of the Bushehr nuclear plant is an important example of this cooperation. So 1 month of the Iran war is about to be completed, and the possibilities of it being prolonged are also becoming clearer. Unfortunately, so far Russia and China are supporting Iran openly in political terms and are doing whatever is possible secretly. If Iran succeeds in stretching this war for some time longer, the role of these two countries will become even more important and will continue to grow. Thank you.